Hi, I'm an ex-hacker, ex-stripper, ex-millionaire, who also happens to have done some programming for a very wealthy guru you may well know, who also happens to have had everything, only to lose everything, only to regain everything through a one-click software app once again. A software app that doesn't just get traffic, it actually light beams it onto your sites. You following me? Sounds stupid, right? Sounds like madness. And yet, this is what we're subjected to on an almost daily basis. And it's become so common, we've almost come to expect it. We're way past paid actors, folks. Now we've got paid actors pretending to be pissed off about people who use paid actors. Would somebody actually do that? Would somebody's brain actually be so twisted and so demented as to pile one layer of falsehood upon another in an effort to make another buck off of you? Unfortunately for all of us, the answer is yes. Welcome to the Internet Marketing Matrix, where rogue Russian hackers are always on speed dial and rich jerk personalities abound, hurling insults at you like a battle rapper with Tourette's. Our industry is pretty action-packed, don't you think? It's got secret government software conspiracies, hackers with an axe to grind, ex-stripper blackmail, MIT professors who are actually closet millionaires. We have such amazing luck, don't we? Everyone got their software in such entertaining and dramatic ways. Our little industry has everything. Well, everything except one thing. Real product creators and real product users who are actually showing their faces. I mean, isn't it eerie? Where are they? You know who I'm talking about. The real people, the everyday people who are buying these products and making money with them. Not the strippers, not the made-up characters with the rented Ferraris, not the endless parade of 40-something actors talking to you from suspiciously similar-looking living rooms. Where are the moms, the dads, the grandmas who are actually making money with all this push-button software that we have at our disposal? Have you met anyone on a forum? Anywhere? Anyone? So here's some advice. If you're sitting in front of a computer right now, and you're wondering why you're still not making any consistent money online, or even your first sale, I can help you with that. In fact, if you stick with me, you'll see your first sale hitting your inbox within the hour, even if you've got no website, no skills, and no product. But before we do that, you've got to accept this wild idea. Heck, just consider it, and here it is. If you want to start making real money that solves real problems in your life, you might start by buying real products from people that get real results for their customers. And it darn well better be people who actually make their real living doing the stuff they teach, instead of nameless, faceless, gutless fake gurus slapping a fancy sales page and a fake storyline on a PLR product they should have to pay you to take, just so long as they can boast killer conversions to their JVs on Skype when their name comes up next on the eternal launch merry-go-round from hell. I mean, seriously, guys. Are we really expected to believe that a new Clickbank affiliate millionaire pops up out of nowhere every single day on Clickbank with a name you've never heard of, a name with no presence on Google, but for the very product he's selling to you now? Or could it be that somebody behind that product doesn't want you to know who they are? Could it be that somebody behind that product doesn't want their reputation attached to what's being sold? Nah, that would be too low. These guys are honest, right? Just look at that couch they're sitting on. It looks just like the one in my grandma's house. Oh, wait a second. There's that couch again in another product launch. If you like the way you're being treated and you're happy with the money you're making with their systems, stop the video right here and enjoy the launch circus. It really is quite entertaining. But if you're sensing that something's wrong with this picture, if your life has become a miserable emotional roller coaster with a new product pitch every day convincing you that this is the one that will work, only to come crashing down to the reality that you've been burned again, then listen up and get ready to start seeing some real results that will solve real problems in your life taught by real people who make real money online. I mean, that's worth a shot, right? Well, good. People, let me tell you why I'm calling these guys out. I sure don't make any friends by doing it. In fact, I can almost feel the daggers being pointed at my back as I do this. But if you have any chance of making it online, you have got to know the truth. I'm Mike Williams, and I'm here on behalf of my friend and business partner, Bill McRae of McRae Soft Solutions. And as you wade your way through the BS of all 89 product launches that went off in 2011, you will find that we are still two of the only people online developing automated software we actually use to make our livings online. Now, why should you believe that? Why should you believe that Bill is a real automated traffic master while the rest are just riding his coattails? Why should you believe his screenshots are real and actually being produced from automated income instead of product launches? Good question. That's why I'm providing this list of handy rules you can use to separate the wheat from the chaff and the posers from the true automated traffic gurus. Let's begin, shall we? Rule number 1. Real gurus have real names. If you see a proposed guru and he doesn't give you his name, or he gives you a name you've never seen before in the marketplace, be careful because you're probably about to be taken for a ride. The real guru uses his real name on real product launches, a name like Bill McRae, again and again, which means he's accountable and has a reputation at stake whenever he sells something. Number 2, a real guru has a line of products, not just one. You see, Bill McRae has an actual track record of creating software that helps people with their internet marketing. In fact, if you've been paying any attention online, you would notice that Bill's team has already automated most all of the tasks marketers do by hand, such as link building, niche research, Twitter marketing, blogging, article submission, and a host of other solutions used every single day by thousands upon thousands of happy customers. In fact, here we are with one of our products sitting atop Clickbank with virtually no refunds. That shut everybody up for a while because we did it with no product launch, no real JV connections. We did it because people actually saw results with the software in their first day. We did it because the software actually worked. This is what can happen when you use Above the Matrix.
My name is Teresa Dangle from Norfolk, Virginia. I was lucky enough to be a beta tester for this Above the Matrix system. I really didn't expect nothing to happen. And I've tried all the garbage on the internet, and I just wind up overwhelmed. I don't have a job, can't find one, don't know how to make money, and the money I have is running out. And on top of all of this, I keep getting sucked in to those slick sales letters that just leave me more confused than when I started. And this time it was worse than it's been before because my unemployment is running out and I have maxed out my extensions. I'm literally waiting to be evicted. You know it takes about 6 months to do that? And it's sad that I know it. But then I got saved last minute by Bill and Mike. I mean seriously, these guys, they created the best product on the market. And it was so simple. Making a couple instant noodles was more complicated than this was. And I'm just bad at computers. I was able to set it up in between my soaps in one afternoon with no help from nobody. And then I would check it every hour. And after a few days, I started to see consistent sales every day for 2 weeks. I mean, Clickbank is sending out a check made out to me. Yes, me. For $2,528. See, that's proof right there. And that was more than I would make in a month in my old job. I have failed at everything that I've done. My son can't believe it. My family can't believe it. But this is the first thing that has actually worked for me. It is so overwhelming. Because no one knows how desperate I was but me. And it was bad. So thank you, Bill and Mike, for creating this.
Rule number 3. A real software guru actually has a real software company with real programmers on staff, not just a generic internet marketing company. And here's Bill's company and mine. It's called MatrixAbove Solutions. And yes, we actually do work with programmers from Russia, and the Philippines, and China, and Moldova, and approximately 18 other countries, because we actually run a real high-end software business contracted to create software for companies large and small. And 4, a real traffic software guru doesn't need screenshots to prove he's making money online. He can actually be seen making money online on the pages of Google with your very own eyes, because he's got so many automated sites, you just can't help but land on them. In fact, by the odds, most all of you watching this video have landed on one of Bill McRae's sites looking for internet marketing help, help with guitar playing, or help in another one of the 59 different niches Bill makes money in all at the same time. Posers can only be found on Google for a single product, the product they just came out with. And their only source of credibility is the fake look of sincerity they have on their well-trained actor faces when they tell you they're the one who made that money you see on the screen, and their software is the thing that actually made it happen. And finally, real software gurus aren't afraid to show their real faces and their real life. In fact, here's my house. It's no mansion, but it's worth $600K and it's paid for in cash. And it just happens to be in one of the best school districts in New Jersey. And this is Bill's house. It's also no mansion, but it's also paid off. Folks, a house paid off is a house you can truly enjoy. Don't forget that. And these are our actual kids. Which reminds me, this is Bill's son Alex. And Alex's story is no secret. Bill talks openly about his long battle with Atkins disease. Now the greatest blessing in his life is the $20,000 he's been able to put into a trust fund for Alex every single month, so his medical care will be covered for life. Folks, that's real internet marketing money, solving real problems. I hope you now see you don't need to give up on the dream of an autopilot income. In fact, that would be the worst crime. The worst crime would be for you to convince yourself that because these guys don't have an automated solution for you, that nobody does. And in the process, you miss out on the biggest golden ticket of our time. A system so fail-proof, so completely automated, and so easy to set up, you stand to get paid by it right here on this site within your first hour, just as our way of thanking you for watching this video. You see, Bill and I are living proof that real automated solutions not only exist, but very recently became so well developed as to be idiot-proof to set up. Not for the six-figure paychecks in your first week that are being promised like candy from the couches of middle-aged Craigslist actors, but rather an automated way to grow an income stream a little bit each day, so you can pay your rent or your mortgage on time or ahead of time every time. An automated way to nix your commute from hell. An automated way to remodel the kitchen or to take your honeymoon again. An automated way to keep your account balance out of the negative for good. Or an automated way to just enjoy a weekend without worrying about money. Folks, Bill and I have actually been living this life thanks to real automated traffic software since 2004. Only now, with the help of a little corporate funding, we've created something that puts everything we've done in the past to crying shame. And this is how it all went down. Now, this is probably where you'd expect me to tell you how the software was some kind of alien technology discovered by a Russian hacker who happens to be bowling partners with an ex-guru. I could tell you that because that's a lot more exciting than me and Bill busting our asses ordering takeout delivery food 6 nights a week, hiring and firing 26 different programmers over the span of 2 years. You see, the exciting stories and the true ones are two totally different things. You want to know what a real story sounds like? It's not that crazy. It's just real. Well, maybe it's a little crazy. See, Bill and I met in 2008 on the Warrior Forum. Programming was a way of life for both of us. We each had our own unique style. Bill liked to optimize the stuff that was already out there. I like to try the stuff that's never been tried before. We collaborated together for the first time in 2010, and that's when we had our Clickbank #1 that changed the internet forever. It's kind of surprising how quickly you can go from being just a guy on the Warrior Forum to being one of the most desired consultants in the world. All it really takes is a #1 on Clickbank. And that's exactly what happened with massive passive profits. Literally overnight, the calls started rolling in. And one of these calls nearly floored us. Now, I'm not at liberty to reveal the name of the multinational conglomerate that gave us a call last winter, but let's just say you're always within 5 miles of one of their locations. But believe it or not, somebody in their company noticed the damage that we did on Clickbank. They saw our automation suites, and they had a pretty wild proposal for me and Bill. Their stock was down, some big investors were talking about jumping ship, and their sales needed a boost yesterday. Believe me, they reached out to the best in every industry for help with their marketing. But nothing offered the quick fix they were really looking for. One harebrained idea from a tech guy within their company led them to us. And their proposal for us went something like this. What if we could create hundreds of thousands of mini sites, all driving traffic to their product pages? Hundreds of thousands of sites, each with tens of thousands of links. What they're basically asking us to do is completely flood them with automated traffic. They wanted to amp up their traffic by 2,000% by the very next quarter. There was only one catch. All of that traffic needed to appear 100% natural to the search engines and provide a high-end user experience. Call it chutzpah, but yes, they went there. The deadline was 3 months from now, their next fiscal quarter. And they agreed to pay me and Bill pretty much anything we asked to get it done. And we told them we will get it done. And when we hung up the phone, Bill called it a suicide mission. You got to be crazy to take on something of that caliber. And even crazier to think you can do it. Think about it this way. When it comes to traffic, there's automation and there's high-value user experience websites. And those two things are like oil and water. They just don't mix. Personally, I was invigorated by the idea. I was fiending for a project like this. But we had one very important advantage. A corporate-sized budget. I'm talking about a company card with no annual limit. and every last resource of their multinational corporation at our fingertips. We had access to an array of supercomputers and advanced programming platforms that would have most IT guys blushing. We're at their corporate offices, ready to put ink on the contract, and we're both completely underdressed. We gather around the boardroom table, and the paperwork is handed out, and all of a sudden Bill comes out of nowhere, and he says, "I have a request." I froze. All I can think is, Bill, don't screw this up. He says, "We'll make it happen. We'll take care of everything. But when we do, we want joint ownership of the software we create." Pretty cool. Bill was strong-arming the old corporate moguls. The old bull. Finally, after some pretty awkward pauses and some calls back and forth between the CFO and the CTO, they agreed to it. And that was it. We were officially sponsored. This was beyond the biggest budget we had ever had to create maybe the most valuable software the world has ever seen. The stars had aligned for me and Bill, and we were on the verge of something huge. We didn't know how the hell to even start, but we were ready for anything. So we took our time mapping out the possibilities, and it was pretty daunting. See, using existing technology is easy, but inventing a new method is no joke. And don't forget, this has to be all while getting a big fat wet kiss from the search engines like Google and the end users. What we needed was a website that was literally half man, half machine. Nothing like it had ever been attempted. Not even close. After a few unforgettable weeks, I'm talking late night brainstorming sessions and endless takeout. Nights that had Bill pulling out every one of his remaining hairs on his head. But what came out of that was revolutionary. We concocted this basic theory. Now, hear me out for a sec, because this is a doozy. If video games, produced by the likes of EA Sports about baseball, can mimic human behavior patterns, like the way A-Rod holds his bat or walks to first, then we know programs can record patterns in human behavior. Then there's this website called Pandora, which can actually pick out patterns in music taste over endless songs, artists, and genres. And with precision, it can give you a unique song that's in line with your tastes. Well, that's another signal that machines can actually recognize complex human patterns and then make decisions, just as a human would, based on those patterns. Now, if one machine can do it, another machine can be made to do it. And this to us meant that a website can be taught to do the same thing, that a website can mimic patterns, filter them, and mimic them in a constant rotation. I mean, we know success leaves clues, right? So why couldn't these clues be recorded and synthesized into complex patterns that are scalable, repeatable, totally automated? This is as close as you're going to get to artificial intelligence for websites. Enough variables would need to be input into the software, enough to recognize and create its own valuable content, create its own valuable links that are always on point, always relevant, and always timely. And of course, it has to follow linking patterns that are totally indistinguishable from human behavior. If it worked, it would revolutionize the way we think about making money. Just imagine having half of the Alexa top 1,000 websites not created by people, but by sophisticated software. That was our mission impossible. And I'll be honest, it started out really rough. We must have decided to give up the project at least 20 times in the space of a month. But with persistence and by the sweat of our brow, our team actually started making progress. The challenge we kept butting up against was training a machine to write and manage the English language like a human being. As you know, English is one of the most complicated languages to learn. However, as we discovered, English has its patterns too. English has a certain rhythm. It has a certain way of ordering ideas. We had at least 5 to 10 retired English professors on staff at any given time, tasked to recognize these patterns and to constantly tweak and improve the 100% unique content the software would spit out. The moment the software would shift into computer speak, they would fix it in real time. They would turn weak sentences into stronger ones. And soon, the software stopped making those mistakes. After a few months of this training, the content it produced became indistinguishable from high-quality English prose written by your favorite blogger. Now, while I'm heading up content creation, Bill is making progress on his side of the office on a linking system. And the linking system worked on basically the same principle, that there are linking patterns, although very complex patterns, but every successful website follows a linking pattern. It was just a matter of setting up the infrastructure to record those patterns and replicate them. Bill set up the most ridiculous monitoring system you have ever seen that would track the linking trends and patterns of the hottest websites on the web. With every site it tracked, the software became smarter. Next came the Mass Website Installer, which really just required some upgrades from the Mass Website Installer we'd created in 2008. After jumping these hurdles, the rest was child's play. The Mass Auto Monetize came in the next few months. And then came the fun part, the fusion. synthesizing each of these processes, tying them all together into a plug-and-play interface. To this day, when I think about the moment we completed the project, I get goosebumps. I mean, this is my greatest accomplishment to date. I'll never forget how alert I was when we actually completed it and loaded the interface. It was like 5 shots of espresso directly into the veins. We're talking about billions of lines of code synthesized into a simple, easy-to-use interface. It had the brains of a human with the work ethic of a machine. And there it is, all sitting behind a single interface that was so brain-dead simple, so plug-and-play, that ordering a pizza would probably be more complicated. Before we showed the corporation our findings, we had to test it out ourselves. You don't present a project you aren't positive will work, not to these guys. So it was time to turn it on. So what happens? What happens when you combine the ultimate content creator with the ultimate monetization system, with a link building system from the gods themselves? Well, we found out in a hurry, because within 24 hours, this is what happened. I nearly bear hugged Bill to death when I saw this. Hell, we were square dancing. But more importantly, the software known as Above the Matrix was born. It requires no sleep. It asks for no raises. It just pulls in visitors by the thousands like a vortex. It drives traffic not only from search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing, which by the way it does better than anything I've ever seen before. But even more importantly, it drives traffic from 38 other underground free traffic sources, including blog search engines, social media sites, and 36 other powerful buyer traffic sources you've never even heard of. Some of these sources kick in week 1, and a host of other monstrous traffic pools, most of which you've never even thought about using, kick in minute 1. Which means you don't have to wonder if this software is working. You will see your visitors arrive on your dashboard from the minute you hit go. I told you this was real, folks, and I meant it. You see, this was never meant to be used for individuals. It's industrial strength traffic. That's why our biggest concern is not if you're going to get traffic, but will you be able to handle that much traffic? And that's why we're hosting everything on our unlimited servers to ensure that you can handle the load. Now, how many clicks to set this all up? I thought you'd ask. Well, let's cut through all this one-click BS right here once and for all. You can have 1 click to a software that doesn't work worth a darn, or you can have 20 clicks to a software that actually makes you money. Which one would you prefer? You see, rookies count clicks, pros count result, and money is the result this software was designed to create. But here's what I will promise you. When you get behind the wheel of Above the Matrix, open up another tab on YouTube and play Stairway to Heaven. And as you click along where we tell you to click with the instructional videos, if your first autopilot money-making website isn't completely set up and receiving its first visitors by the time that song is done, send us an email and you'll get the software for free. And if you haven't generated your first sale within 24 hours of setup, I want you to contact us for a full refund. You see, either you make money with this or we bite the bullet. And just to make this clear, if you've got the guts to unleash the traffic fury of Above the Matrix, here are just a few of the things you'll never need to do again. 1. You will never get a single link again. It's completely obsolete. I don't care how high quality you think your links are. The ones we provide are better. We're talking about government-grade links that shoot sites to the top of search engines in minutes, not days. 2. You will never again write a single article or blog post to keep your websites fresh with content. I don't care how good you think your English is, it ain't better than the work of 18 professional career writers we had programming this. So your worries about content officially end today. Keyword research. Again, now obsolete. The software completely manages this with laser-like precision to the point where you know exactly how much money you're going to make before you even hit go. Figuring out how to monetize your websites. Number 5, installing products. Number 6, creating products. Number 7, installing themes. Number 8, figuring out what to promote. Listen, folks, I don't know how else to say this. If I'm on a desert island and I have forgotten absolutely everything I know about internet marketing, this software is all I would need to create a life of luxury and freedom. We've actually done it. We've actually created the first real autopilot traffic machine. Not by scamming, not by spamming, but by working with the internet, which means it will keep working, not for days or months, but years into the future. I know you put up with a lot of crap, but let me tell you something. Around roses, there's always thorns, and oil is always hidden in the mud. This is the software you've been secretly praying you'd one day land on. All the crap you went through was leading to this. It's here. You've suffered enough. You deserve this. Every decent person does. Now let's talk about the price, and let's get through this quickly because it kind of makes me want to punch a clown when I think about how little we're selling this for. Let's just sum up what you're getting, because you're getting your first sale today guaranteed within the first hour of activation. And I know for many of you, getting your first money online is a moment that's worth thousands to you. And then you're getting a career. Just picture it. You, a successful online affiliate marketer who makes all the money he ever needs from the comfort of his own home, starting from day one. So no matter what it costs, the price is nothing. The reason we're selling this at all is not to get paid by you. Believe it or not, the software has that covered just fine. We're selling this product because there's a war going on behind the scenes. You've got us on one side, the PLR peddling, low-life, professional Clickbank launchers on the other. And these guys, to put it bluntly, they threaten to take this whole industry down by repeatedly overselling and delegitimizing automated traffic software, which is our livelihood and our passion. So we figured that by selling our product at full strength, in all its glory, the exact product we use to make our fortunes, with absolutely nothing held back, a product that actually delivers on every single promise advertised at a price so similar to theirs. If we did that, these posers would suddenly lose their grip on the marketplace, and ultimately, they starve. And I don't know about you, but I won't shed a single tear. And now that you understand the politics behind the scenes, you'll understand why we must let this software go at just $49 a pop. That means Bill and I are getting just barely enough to upkeep the software. Now, as much as we want to beat the gurus at their own game, we're not willing to go broke doing it. So since we cover the cost of hosting for you, there is a limit to how many people we can handle using the software at one time. Right now, our estimates are that if every person sets up their site properly and sets up multiple sites a day, our hosting can handle 250 users comfortably. It could be a few more, it could be a few less, but it's in that neighborhood. And you can bet everything holy that when the hosting costs exceed this fee, we close the doors with you outside. Survival of the fittest forces us all to evolve, so procrastinators beware. You will not get another chance at this. Now, if you're still not convinced, even after everything you've just heard, I don't blame you. It probably has something to do with the fact that you've come across more crooks in this industry than a lifetime of jury duty. I get it, but I've got a surprise up my sleeve. See, I'm taking all the pain out of this. Bill and I won't even see your money. We won't even see your $49 until the software has paid for itself. You get me? We're putting the software to the ultimate test because it's simply that good. You get a full 60 days of fun and profit with it. Run above the matrix from your desktop for a full 60 days. Make some cash for yourself, for your family. Pay some bills. Take a vacation. Do it all on our dime. And the $49? It's living the good life with Clickbank in escrow until you're ready to decide if this is something you want to keep for the long term. And I'll even do you one better. As a company that actually cares about our products, we welcome any feedback. In fact, we'll pay you for it. That's why if you find any flaw in the system, any way to make this product better than it is, we need to know about it. You see, if your path from install to profit isn't as flawless as we made it out to be, and you can intelligently tell us how to improve it, you keep your $49 and the software. So let's summarize. You either make money with this, and it's every bit as easy as we told you it would be, or you pay nothing. And now that we've just blazed the path through every last roadblock between you and the endless summer of profits you're about to experience, you're ready to make that final decision. I can feel it. And as you ease into this new turning point in your life, I want to leave you with the one quote that's been responsible for every success I've ever had. And it goes like this: you can't explore new territory without losing sight of the shore. And I think we all know what that means. And if you're looking at your life right now, and you don't want it to be the same, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, and 14 years from now, the only way to do that, the only way, is to embrace something new. But when you make that jump, the moment you do, you will instantly know it was worth it. Because when you believe in us, we believe in you. And we'll be there with you throughout the entire experience, with help, guidance, and support from our expert team of professionals. You won't need that help, but it's there, just in case, until your autopilot income is marching armies of dollars steadily into your bank account, until you're debt-free, until you've replaced your job with purely automated internet income. We do this for a living, and we're not going anywhere until you've reached that point, and we'll be there with you through it all. So now there's nothing left to do but get started. So do me a favor, will you? When you click your mouse on that download button, do it with your middle finger, because what you're really doing with that click is giving the finger to all the liars, the thieves, the soapbox traffic swindlers, the serial Clickbank launchers, and all the crap in between that's kept you broke, frustrated, and dejected. And while you're at it, give the finger to your boss who undervalues you. Give the finger to the commute that drains you. And give your finger to that alarm clock that wakes you up just when that dream is getting good. But mainly, give the finger to relying on anyone else but yourself for your livelihood and the livelihood of your family. That struggle ends today. By now you understand that. So as you hit the download button now, let me just remind you that your first sale online and all the thrills that come along with it are waiting for you on the other side within the hour. Bye for now, and I look forward to meeting you on the inside.